Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. A little bit of a surprise. We're, as three of us are in the same room. Happy Friday, guys. It's been a very long week, a lot of volatility. That's very self-explanatory. I think some of us are glad that this week is probably behind us a little bit. Given that the announcement, the launch are now finally out of the way. I think somebody put it best last week, which it was one of those things where they were expecting a buy the announcement, sell the launch type of event. And it seems like that has played out thus far on Bitcoin. But we're going to talk about it a little more in just a bit. You guys know me as Snorlax, also as Tommy. I'm joined, in person by Max and Tucker, as well on the show with Jackus and Dr. Will's Outlook. So welcome, guys. Happy Friday. I hope everybody has a phenomenal weekend here over the next few days. But real quickly, before we get started and before we start sharing that big, juicy alpha, really appreciate and love if you guys could hit the like button. I know Jackus in particular has very special alpha for you guys if we hit 150 likes today. So definitely smash that like button. It's Friday. It's one of the biggest weeks in Bitcoin history. If we can't smash the like button this week, then, when can we? Right?
Very true.
But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and we can talk very loosely about what's kind of happened in the market. It hasn't been anything too extreme, right? Bitcoin had a huge run up to 49K. It's somewhat pulling back. This was kind of expected and should be expected given that we have Ethereum running as aggressively as it did. I think now that we're into that level on ETH, 2,600, 2,700, that's a very pivotal inflection point, not just for Ethereum, but I also think for altcoin, for continued altcoin outperformance in the market, as we have Bitcoin kind of bleeding down and distributing into some of these beta plays as people are chasing risk, right? That's very natural within these crypto cycles. ETH, this inflection point on ETH, if we can smash above it, you open the door towards 3K, you open the door towards maybe even 4K. And if that happens, altcoins are going to go even more ballistic than they already have. So, if you are looking for altcoin markets to continue outperforming, that's probably something that you want to see. Otherwise, this is still somewhat par for the course, right? Bitcoin is kind of just chopping within the uptrend that it's had thus far. Although we have had some pretty strong sell flows, I think most of it is essentially just grayscale selling off, right? But yeah, equities are pretty nondescript. I guess we're kind of selling off today. I am noticing a little bit of strength in the dollar and oil that we should probably talk about later on the show. And we had a gap up that got sold pretty hard for maybe the second or third day. So, or the second or third day in a row. So I am taking note of that with equities as well as we come into. I love to meme this quote unquote window of weakness that equities tend to have, and our next one happens to be in the middle, starting in January 16th, I believe, into February 2nd. So that'll be a window to pay attention to. Probably some good opportunities to buy dips, especially in equities. But let's get started. What are you guys seeing in the markets?
It's crazy being in person, man. And we kind of like Jimmy rigged this setup here. We didn't give ourselves a lot of time. So I've got my camera sitting kind of just propped up in front of us with a microphone that normally has an arm, but I didn't have time to set it up. So we're just going to be passing the microphone around. And yeah, just for those that I guess haven't seen yet, we're gonna. I see some of you are just listening, but here's the crew right here. Here are the boys. Bring it in. Hey. So yeah, we're in person today. Yeah, again, we did this on the fly. We didn't have a ton of time to plan this, but super fun that we get to hang out. And really a shame to see that Bitcoin is just kind of jeeting itself right now. But I will say this: let's contextualize this move as we always do. Okay, yes, you don't love to see a little low time frame dump, right? You're looking at the 15-minute. We got it pulled up right here. This looks abysmal, right? But you can also see that there's a lot of sell pressure. These red candles here, it basically identifies when there's one or two standard deviations of volume, one or two standard deviations of like outside normal volume. And I will just say this as well. We are still, and we've been doing this for basically like 3 months now. We have these very aggressive lower time frame dumps, But at the end of the day, structure, it remains intact. Okay. So the lows are being respected. And when you turn off the candlesticks where you really see the jeeting, you can see that, a lot of these just get absorbed pretty quickly. And for the past 2 months, 3 months even, we did the same thing down here. Okay. The same thing back in November and December, where we would move up, have very aggressive flushes down, but ultimately market structure remains intact, even on the scariest of drops. So I'm looking at this structure, and at least for now, I'm hoping that we can continue. And this is just another piece of, I guess, vertical accumulation before we move higher. So really, this is the must hold level. Like I would be open to, another 12 hours, 24 hours of this. And then ultimately this needs to resolve to the upside. And the reason I say it needs to, and it's not from a personal positioning standpoint, but there are some very clear indicators that I look at for higher time frame tops. And what I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see this 2-day bear div become valid. So here would be the 2-day bear div. And again, this is, I've given a lot of examples of this. I had a nice tweet about it as well. I might just pull it up so I don't have to remake the whole thing. But what I don't want to see is this bear div become valid. Like ultimately what we need to see here for Bitcoin to continue higher is we're going to have to see this resolve to the upside and this RSI actually kind of break out here while price curls back up. We need, if we want this to continue, we need to see some resolution here pretty quickly, because I'm not liking the 2-day and 3-day bear divs. But I will say I am very much so enjoying this ETH BTC chart. This is absolutely incredible, guys. I mean, look at this swing fail. This is, I mean, talk about paper handing it. The ETH BTC bears completely paper handed this breakdown. Failed breakdown. We took out this low, which honestly I didn't really expect, but in hindsight, it makes perfect sense. And I'm very, very happy with my decision to remain convicted with the December seasonality trade for ETH and ETH BTC. But yeah, anyways, it's very interesting to see Bitcoin. Sorry, I've got so many charts up here. To see Bitcoin really kind of just nuking on the day, but ETH is just looking so solid, still just pinned almost at 2,700. So I'll leave it at that for now. I don't need to sit here and monologue, but yeah, I'm hanging out with a couple of the BB boys in person today. We're having a great time. We're drinking some coffee. We also got some egg sandwiches that we might start eating on stream. So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen.
Oh wait, look who we got here. We got the doctor.
The doctor.
We got the doctor. Oh, we can't. We can't hear you, Will. We can't hear you, Will.
Janet Yellen is gone and Will is joining us.
And by the way, I tweeted this out, guys. I tweeted this out, and we've been talking about this for a while. It's pretty obvious that ETH is just severely lagging Bitcoin, and that was represented in the ETH BTC valuation. So I think that right now you could, if you had to try to equate the two and say where is ETH in the larger picture, I would say that buying ETH here, not suggesting anybody should buy ETH, right? Like at BB, we've been accumulating aggressively since 15 to 1700. So it's easy for us to say now that things are cooking, but I think that you have to look at this fractal that I have posted up here. ETH on the left, Bitcoin in the middle, ETH BTC on the far right. You recognize that the far right chart, ETH BTC, high time frame swing fail, incredible buyback, clear rotation. All right, very, very clear rotation. And I think you probably have to look at ETH here as basically like a 40K to maybe 41K Bitcoin. And I think that April 2022 high is going to get tagged eventually. All right, I don't know. It will be somewhat dependent on Bitcoin maintaining structure. Even though ETH BTC looks great here, what I don't want to see is Bitcoin basically be reaccepted below 43K and then ETH just pinned to 2,600. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but for ETH to be pushing 4,000 almost, 3,600, 3,700, I think it is going to be somewhat tethered, no pun intended, to Bitcoin maintaining healthy market structure above 44K. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I've been talking for a while. Maybe we get some words from Tucker. I'm going to pass the mic a little bit. Isn't it funny? We're just passing.
Nah, man, you guys eat your burrito. We need to look at this.
No, we got egg sandwiches, yeah, Will. It's the premier breakfast decision.
I bet Will's got his burrito, man. Max, I'm going to need you to do some chart work for me.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, go to Bitcoin on the daily. I need you to pull up what I have pulled up on my phone here, man. It's
I don't want to
it's
pull
a
that
little
up.
bit. It's a little bit bearish.
You might need to lean in a little bit here.
Will, I know that you don't want to hear that word, man, but I know you're an RSI respector as well, Will, but I think
you on the daily?
Yeah, I'm on the daily, man. The daily looks a little bit
Questionable.
It goes all the way back to like when is that? Mid-October, man. Oh. See, here's the thing. Look, I think if as long as we hold above the 50 on the RSI on the daily here, I think we still look okay, but because we have kind of used that as a floor recently, but we're gonna need it to continue to be a floor because I think if we lose the 50, then you risk coming back and probably cleaning up a bunch of those stops from that vertical accumulation in the mid 35, 36, 37 Ks. I don't know what ETH would do in that scenario, but I mean, look, in a bull market, we get bear divs all the time, right? Like we're going to get bear divs on the way up, but I just worry like with what happened this morning. Like we were doing the Giga Chad call or the Discord call. I don't know if we still call it that, but
you can call it that.
Yeah, I'll still call it that. But and I was watching the clock, and right as the clock struck, we're Central Time, so 8:30. I mean, Bitcoin just started nuking on the low time frames, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then I checked all the BTC ETFs, and they were all just nuking, of course. And then Bitcoin was nuking, and it was just a Jeet fest, So, I mean, I don't know exactly how this is kind of our first glimpse into how TradFi is going to treat their crypto exposure. I mean, we've seen what they do with futures and whatnot, but
they just got in. It's not them selling.
I mean, somebody's
absolutely
selling.
Not them selling. It is somebody looking to get enough money to buy a meal at McDonald's, and that's why they've been holding for 6 months.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, they might be. I mean,
what they might be looking for two McDonald's.
We could still be having the grayscale redemptions or whatnot. Like it might be Barry Silver cheating.
I would argue that it's more. Yeah, I would argue that it's more bullish long term that grayscale is actually selling so much now.
Yeah.
Just because we had so much high volume over the last like 2 or 3 days. This is exactly where you want them to be selling to minimize the market impacts because they have like 500,000 Bitcoin.
You have to keep in mind too, Grayscale has to deleverage. They have new competition in the market, right? They can't hold on to a bunch of extra Bitcoin if they don't think that they can distribute that during the bull run. So
it was illiquid before the ETF.
Yeah, and that's what I'm stating is like them offloading is them just repositioning because they're going to be pretty much priced out of the market at a certain point. Do you think anybody's going to go to Grayscale over BlackRock? You think anybody's going to go to Grayscale over ARKK?
I saw that they're reducing their fees to compete with the Wall Street fund.
Yeah. They've been literally sitting here just absolutely destroying their investors, right? Like maximum charging, everything else, and their investors are going to completely jump ship. A lot of them are, I think, and I think this is their own doing. This is why you don't do predatory type of we'll say predatory investing or predatory management, because you're the only person in the room, because eventually other people are going to come in, and that's what we're seeing. And I think Grayscale understands that. Grayscale may be the offloader and maybe the downfall of the next top, right? That may they may just fully exit their positions due to what's going on. I mean, I wouldn't doubt one bit that a lot of their customers said the second that these ETFs came out, hey, we're not staying here, we're leaving. And I think a lot of people aren't considering that. I do want to bring up something though, if I can get the chart there, so we can stop talking about propaganda.
Strong bear
and start looking at real tops. I do have a
Will I have to make a request though.
What are these?
You have to clean it up a little bit, because on your end you made the chart. It looks crystal clear to you. There's a lot of noise on that chart. The RSI is taking up a quarter of your screen.
There's no RSI.
There's too much to look at. I need it a little bit cleaner.
there's no RSI. All right, it's very simple. These are halving marks that are basically an add-on.
I need
Look.
to shout out Will that he is not charting on a phone today. So that's
Yeah, that's
already
true.
such a huge improvement.
I am actually pretty good at charting on a
45.
phone.
Wow.
A lot of other people are not.
Tommy.
All right.
No.
So the
You
propaganda.
should see this fractal that Tommy has pulled up on his screen, man. I
no.
can't even
Look.
No.
talk about. Will would lose his mind if he saw what
Will,
you
you'd be unhappy, man.
Look, here's the thing. We're gonna
Monthly
talk
time
about
frame?
we're gonna talk about some things I don't want to talk about, right? So
All
we're
right,
looking
Will,
at like
let's go.
May. May is the halving, something like that, roughly around here, right?
April is the halving, Will. April
Okay,
2024.
we'll go with April.
No, it is. It's not like a subjective thing. It's April.
We'll go with whatever.
Not up
fits
for
your
debate.
bias.
The halving is when Will decides it's halving.
Will's just gonna speed up the blocks. He's gonna push it forward.
So the point being over here. All right. So the only issue I have right now, and I'll tell you this because it's always one of those things that plays. I don't want to be the person in the room stating this, but I call things as I see them, right? You don't want to see this close like this. You just don't. Like it's this wick. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. You got to see them pull that back up. It has to. Like we can't sit here like this. Basically, this is bad. Like if that closes like that, and I would arguably say we could sit here and play sideways if that plays out. Like I said before, and this could be a very volatile type. It doesn't mean we have to do all this, right? But this could get really choppy, really quick at a huge range, right? And if that ends up playing out, that means that Bitcoin can play this whole upper range all the way into the halving. That's not it. That's not what you're looking for. Nobody's looking for that. That would absolutely destroy positions. Right?
Well, where's like your lower bound there? So let's just say hypothetically, Bitcoin just doesn't really perform as we were hoping for it to do on the optimistic side of things. Where do you see Bitcoin potentially dropping to, and then ideally holding? You know, what would that scenario look like? Can we talk price levels?
I think that this is kind of your starter point right here, right? I think you need to pay attention specifically to like around 38K, right? You need to hold that. You can't go below 38K. You go below 38K, you're probably arguably coming back down and revisiting some really lower positions like 33, right? And I know that a lot of people are like, that's so bad. Look, I'm again, I take it level by level. I'm not coming in and saying, hey, we're going to 33. I'm simply stating you get here, you need to hold. You get below here, you could come to here, right? Like you got to take it with context and understand that I'm just giving kind of the areas to pay attention to as price comes down, if price comes down. Now, if they can recover this and pull this back up, then we'll probably continue to drive, right?
Will,
But they need.
Will, are you saying price could come down?
It's temporarily. Okay, it's temporarily.
Good.
Do you know what's coming down, guys?
Oh, no.
The Bitcoin dominance. It's making new lows.
Jackus, I have one question for you.
I was going to get into that.
Jackus, I have one question for you. Who could have foreseen?
Who could have foreseen it,
Look.
man? So surprising. Just 3 days ago.
Literally, look, I posted on it the other day too. And granted, look, I'm not going to take credit away from Max and Jackus. They've been telling you guys, and people, nobody wanted to listen, right? Nobody wanted to listen. But this is the post I made right here. Actually, I don't have a screen, do I? I have. Hold on.
Jesus. Look at that weekly candle on both ETH BTC and BTC.
Let me share one.
Jackus, do you think that for ETH to continue performing well, Bitcoin needs to find some support here?
Can you pull that back up?
Can it just trade completely independently?
It can, it will follow. That's what I keep on saying, guys. You have to pay respect to the broader market conditions, but at the same time, you have to pay respect to the current market structure. And as I said, we had that breakout out of that, 500 something days accumulation, ascending triangle. Then we spent 5 weeks reaccumulating above it, and now we've broken the structure completely. We have reclaimed the sort of January to April structure of 2022, and there really is no resistance on Ether, higher time frame resistance on Ether until 4,000. So it will continue to trade on its own. And if there is any pullback in BTC, which there is some alpha surrounding BTC, if we hit 150 likes today and make a new record live on YouTube. But
What are we at
yeah.
right now? How close are we? Sorry to interrupt you.
2654.
We're at 58 likes right now. Oh man, but we got
That's our
111
rookie
people
numbers.
watching on YouTube. Guys, come on. Jackus has some serious alpha for you guys. We got to pump up. Those are rookie numbers, guys. Those are rookie numbers.
We have nearly 200 people watching right now. Nearly 200. Combining YouTube and X, right? So that's only half of likes, basically. Sorry, not half. That's if each of you guys press a like, we can overshoot 150 instantly. And each of you guys have 2 accounts, right? So that's just a little advice there.
So ugly. Jeez.
So, really quick, I just wanted to point out a couple things in the chart, and then we can kick it over to whoever. So this isn't the only area where this has occurred, right here. Like you got to watch these top wicks, right? You don't want top wicks. You don't want it. Granted, this right here continued through, but then it still came back, right? You don't want top wicks on your HTFs, your high time frames. Even up here, right? So here's the top of the market, right here. You got these top wicks. Now, how did we know the market was going to reverse back up? You got the bottom wicks. Like it's so easy. It's not a hard play at all on the high time frame. It's just pay attention to what you have going on. Again, you get a top signal up here, small wick, bigger wick, bigger wick. You're getting a topping signal, right? You're getting ready to roll at that point. So you got to pay attention to those right there. How do you know you're going to reverse right here? Again, it's very simple, very simple. Boom, boom, boom. Way more wicks here than what you have up here. Up here, you start to lose the wicks, right? You start to lose wicks right in here. Whereas here, you got a lot of wicks, right? So your volatility here is going to get really choppy until one side or the other decides where this thing's going to go. So you know the reversal. Again, over here, same thing. You got the bottom wicks, reverse back up. Again, top wicks, come back down. Now, over here, arguably, you'd say, well, that's a big wick. Yeah, and that's what caused us to do this, right? But then you started basically losing all momentum. Your momentum pretty much evened out, and then you got the flush, right? The market wasn't really understanding of whether or not it wanted to continue from here, and it decided it's coming down. This is just what it is. Not only that, I would say in here, you knew there was another flush coming. How did you know there's another flush coming? Look at that wick, right? That's not something you'd want to see again. You got some support here telling you price is going to move up, but that wick right there was telling you heavy, heavy, heavy sell pressure. A lot of people thought this thing was going to roll up when it was going to roll down. This is where I was telling a lot of people, this is your last chance to get out. I was like 40, 48K. I was like, you if you don't get out here, you're getting wrecked. And the market absolutely annihilated people. Again, once we got down here, how did we know we hit a local?
Will, what is that pink and blue oscillator down there, man?
Look, don't look at my
No. You can bring it back. I'm genuinely asking.
He hit it.
What is it?
You oscillator shamed him, man.
I did oscillate. Go back. What is it? What's the alpha?
This right here, kind of, it's like a leverage position thing. So,
is it stock?
When you're at the high
RSI,
end,
what is that?
No, it's kind of a mixture, a little bit of a mixture of stock and RSI, and it's stochastic and RSI and a few other indicators that are built into it, volume, so on and so forth.
Did you?
But it
create
tends to
this
be
indicator?
no. This is one I picked up from somebody else, but
Nice.
it tends to be whenever it's at its peak up here.
Is this what happens when we give Jackus admin control? He said, Jackus. I was like, who's doing this? Forgot that I gave Jackus the admin account. I was like, where's the coming from?
To me more.
Yeah, this is dangerous to give Jackus. One man shouldn't have all that power. That's too much.
we can get into that. We can get into that later, Tucker. All right, we'll get into that later. But the point being here, wicks, right? You know you're slowing though. You know you're starting to slow. How do you know you're starting to slow? Because you get this big buy zone, right? So this is how you can identify levels. Is these big buy up wicks? These can help you kind of identify where liquidity will kind of lay at, right? And you can see right here, like in that same wick on the weekly, we played a lot in this liquidity zone because you had a big buyer that stepped in here. So we got back to that price range and it became heavy resistance because we were under it.
All right,
And then
Will, not to cut you off or divert here, but I want to talk about like current price action. I love the historical setting, but I want to know what happens next.
What happens next is if you don't close this candle up, right?
That was not me. That was not me.
You're gonna swing low, right? You're gonna swing low. You're probably gonna fail here. If that wick doesn't close out, you're probably gonna fail here, and you're gonna end up right down in here, that 38K. If you don't hold 38K, you could swing all the way back to trend, right? And that's not a good thing. Like trend is pretty far down from here. But the hard part is deciding, do we go straight down the trend or do we swing into trend, right? And hit a higher position than what a lot of people are expecting. My thought would be we hit the 38, probably roll sideways into trend and then roll out. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just nub. It'll be nothing, blah, 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 blah. Hey, it's meant a lot. It's meant a lot, right? It meant a lot last cycle too. 1, 2, meant a lot. So now, just because we only hit twice here and we hit twice here, now granted, I took this as, we were bottomed. Now, I don't mean like we're coming back down here, but arguably we could tap trend again, right? History rhymes, but never repeats. So it doesn't mean we have to double tap. We could triple tap the trend, essentially, is what I'm saying. But the momentum is in favor of up. The momentum is in favor of a bull run. But the thing is, over here for Ethereum, for instance, and a lot of people are going to look at this as kind of bearish that you're all the way up here in the RSI, but Ethereum doesn't really get overbought until it gets up into like these areas, right? You're 90.
And Will, that's something I want to touch on as well, is that a lot of people I still think are maybe prematurely calling a global, well, I guess like calling a yearly top already, January 12th. And here's the thing is, if you go back and you just study the timing of these rotations historically in the very early innings of bull markets, how Bitcoin and ETH have behaved transitioning from December to January, February, it is not uncommon to see a day like today where ETH is green and Bitcoin is just deep red. And then eventually you get some rebalancing in the books. But I find it almost impossible to imagine a scenario where ETH is going to go to 3,000 and Bitcoin's going to go down to the upper 30s again. I think today is potentially a day, and I say potentially because we don't know for sure. That kind of goes without saying, but I think that we actually might see some aggressive rebalancing here. As long as ETH stays strong, I think that you're going to see Bitcoin bid back up. If we truly are in the early innings of a bull market, this really could just be a big shakeout. It really could be a big shakeout because I don't see a scenario where ETH is strong like it is today and Bitcoin nukes. I think there can be days like today where they sort of diverge a little bit, but ultimately I think this will get bid back up unless it's just completely over. If it's completely over and Bitcoin's going to nuke, well, then the ETH run might get cut short.
I've always said that I call it the king swing in our Discord. Everybody wants, and everybody's talking about, everybody's been wanting for years. I mean, I don't want to hyperbolize, but I feel like it needs to be stated. Everybody wants that big swing long on ETH that foretold by GCR, the run up to 10K. But I think when I look at ETH Bitcoin and when I look at ETH, I kind of think that this is kind of like to wet the palate here, and that the real run is going to happen later this year, whether that's at the end of the spring or whether that's in the second half of the year. I mean, there are all kinds of catalysts for Ethereum throughout this year that are still yet to come that I think are going to rip it. But what I kind of view this rally as, like I said, a bit of a palate wetter. When you talk about market structure breaks and price, what you typically see. And you're absolutely seeing this with ETH Bitcoin right now, as you usually see a strong reversal, right? That breaks structure. And then after the structure is broken, you tend to have some sort of retest back towards that structure. And then you have just the massive trend. And I think that we're seeing that not just with ETH right now breaking out, but also with ETH Bitcoin. As ETH Bitcoin moved off the low, it's breaking a lot of the highs that cap price for multiple weeks, I think maybe even multiple months. And so as you know, eventually ETH Bitcoin will find a local high, pull back. And then I think wherever that low is, like that is going to be a king swing for Ethereum.
Yeah. So if we look here also, and this is I think what a lot of people are missing the plot on. This is a very resistant area for Bitcoin, right? This whole area. But keep in mind, Bitcoin still climbed very high even after wicking down, right? So even if Bitcoin were to come down here, you could still see a swing up. And a lot of people would say probably that from here, if it starts to fail, that we're going to roll over. But in reality, I would see something more like this. If we were to swing up, is something like that. And I would see a build up type of move versus like a rollover type of move, right? That's what I would think. So if we swung down, hit the low here on price, rolled back out, I would think that they're going to swing high again, and then people are going to absolutely lose the plot, right? They're not going to understand what's going on here. I think here too, when we look at Ethereum specifically, I think this is really important. This is the zone, right? And I told people right in here, I was like, everybody's selling right before the move. I posted it the day it happened when we had the whole fake Bitcoin ETF thing. Price came all the way down here into like the 22s on Ethereum, and everybody wanted to panic, right? Everybody wanted to sell. And then we saw the swing out. We saw Ethereum break its resistance. Again, this is not a hard resistance to identify. Look, all you got to do, the same thing we did with Bitcoin, is find where you first puked, right? Your first puking scenario, you find your first bounce after your first capitulation move, right? Your real flush. This is a flush. This is a flush. You got to be able to identify the flush. Once you identify the flush, find the bounce and then find the high of that bounce. Find the bounce and find the high of that bounce. That's how I knew Bitcoin was heading this direction. I was like, they're going to fill this entire flush. Once they got through here, once they got to the midpoint, they were going to fill the entire move all the way up to the top of the flush. And they did. They came up and tapped it beautifully, right? And now they're going to consolidate here. I've been talking about this for like a week. I was like, you're not going to see Bitcoin explode off the ETF. I'm like, it's literally going to trade sideways. That's it. And what do we see when Bitcoin trades sideways? Expect beta to run for the 1,000th time. This is why I said dumpster fires, chewing gum, homeless people. If they make a project,
but we need
it.
Bitcoin. But right now, Bitcoin's not trading sideways. Bitcoin is very much so trading down.
No, not at all. Not at all. Look.
Put on the monthly.
Yeah, I mean
Sideways.
higher time frames. Yeah,
That is sideways.
You see this comment right here? Will?
Yeah, there you go.
he makes a good point. He
great
makes a really compelling point on the
Look.
1 second. It's toasted.
Look, we have a very similar move right here, right? What do we call this? We call it a doji, right? Everybody looks for the reversal. What is this? Here, let's high time frame. Look. Drop, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, as people look for consolidation.
Are you bullish, Will? I can't tell. Are you? I'm just kidding.
I can see the horn sticking out.
Yeah.
Look, Bitcoin does this all the time, guys. Like, look, drop, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. Not hard.
Speaking of breakouts, Dr. Outlook, it seems like we're beginning to break out on the like button, guys. We're at 90 likes so far. We need to get to 150 for that Jackus Alpha, that
150.
big juicy Alpha. 150.
We're at 90 now.
We're at 90 likes right now, so we're about 60 likes away. I know that you guys can get there. We got about 200 people watching the show right now. Happy Friday, and I hope everybody's having a great week.
We We are cheating, guys.
Wait, where are we at?
We are cheating big time. ETH is nuking.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 1 second chart, right, we are certainly cheating. But if you're leveraging on the 1 second chart, make sure you use your whole portfolio so you can lose it all because you deserve that.
How many days this
All
year has Bitcoin been down 6% or more?
Bro, it's insane. It's insane. Like,
That is a big move for Bitcoin, but beta hasn't.
No, look.
Some beta has responded, but other beta is still pretty strong, relatively speaking.
Ethereum's absolutely ripping, guys. Like, I don't care how much it's pulled back here. It has absolutely broken all resistances.
ETH
Like,
probably
we're not coming back into here.
after
This is the largest drop for BTC since August.
Wow.
And here's the thing.
Really?
This is the largest drop for BTC. And look at Ethereum. Is Ethereum responding to it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel that big, honestly. I mean, it's
Here, you need
kind
to hold this.
it's kind of bad, but it does not feel like that big of a drop. We do have both ETH and Sol BTC are both green right now. So
Yeah,
I'm skeptical of this dump. I'm very skeptical of this dump. I would not be shorting Bitcoin into the low 43K region. Not for a second. I think if we spend like the next 3 or 4 days consolidating under 44K without any sort of reclaim, then I think you open the door to significantly lower. We could talk about shorting, but I would not be piling into shorts down 6% with ETH BTC looking the way that it is. I'm very skeptical of this.
You should be. With ETH running the way it is, everybody thinks it's over. Look at this. What do we see right there? We're just dropping it on the casual daily, the casual daily, since we got to go low time frames. We're going to go with the daily here. What do we see right there?
Hey, I see a comment in the chat. Jobs data says we're nuking. Will, do we get some jobs data this morning?
Yeah. Go ahead and
Claims
show
or
me.
something?
Yeah,
What-
show
what-
me the claims. I don't care about your jobs, people losing jobs. Show me your claims.
Well,
No, claims are fine. I don't know what
Like, if you can't show me
I'm stealing the
deteriorating
chart,
claims, I'm not interested.
I'm stealing the chart. I'm cheating the chart from Will.
is there a claims chart?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Initial claims.
Yeah.
Right here. New
I'm data
pay.
dependent.
I mean,
No, it wasn't. Is the new print in that?
there's nothing there, I don't think.
Absolutely no claims. Claims are still on a decline.
Those claims were fine too.
I don't see anything. I mean,
The jobless claims is USIJC.
yeah, I don't see.
Bro, look at claims. They're literally
Was
just
Was
running
there
the floor.
was there a change this morning, Jackus? I don't see any.
Put your thing right.
I
Yeah,
think
I
there
mean,
was like yesterday. Yeah, there was
It looks
yesterday.
like they went down.
They went down, yeah.
So why would the jobs numbers suggest that? I don't know. Somebody commented that they said that. I thought they meant that like we got something new. They said Michael said jobs data says we're nuking. Well, I don't see the jobs data. Michael, maybe if you could mention, is there a Chimp, man?
I think he's memeing.
Chimp is a menace, man.
I
Chimp
think
is
he's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's trolling.
Chimp's a friend, man. Chimp's a friend. He's a good dude. He's a funny guy.
Michael made us look.
Friend of the show.
That's what happened.
Michael made us look. All right, let's see what we're doing on likes here, guys. Let's see, because I want to see the Jackus Alpha. So now you guys, your inability to like the stream is now affecting me getting my alpha from Jackus, and that's a problem. That's a problem. I take that personally.
Max, you always say that greedy Jackus with his likes, but you are all hungry
mean
for
it.
the alpha.
Okay. All right. Everybody go make a second account and like the stream because I need this Jackus Alpha, guys. I'm getting jittery. Like I need this Jackus Alpha, from Chef Jackus. I haven't eaten from the chef in a long time, and I need some of that alpha. Look at this. Look at this comment.
Wow.
I did 3 counts already. See, that's commitment.
PogChamp.
That's
somebody who wants that alpha, man.
they need it.
He needs the alpha.
Yeah. All right.
He's hungry.
He is hungry. Okay. So let me see what I have here. Oh my gosh, look at
Oh
these.
my god.
I was going crazy last night with the charts, guys. I know.
Wait, you did this last night?
I can't turn it off, man. It just
Yeah, guys, I'm going to bed.
yeah, no, never.
A
It
little
never stops.
chart addictor.
I'm trying to even see. I just have so many charts up, man. So many.
Someone was thinking about the frog.
I can't stop thinking about the frog, man. I'm a prisoner to the frog. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna see if I had a chart up for you guys. This is just too much to even. Actually, you know what? It's not. Let's take a look at this. This is interesting. So, now I do. Oh, nope. Now I can. Yep, there we go.
I'm
right.
just gonna make this one statement real quick.
Hold up.
and
Let
then
me
Max,
cook. All right, you want to make your statement, Will?
Yeah, I'll be really quick.
All right, make your
Bitcoin's
statement.
going up. Stop looking at the 1 second chart. Stop leveraging the money your mom gave you for lunch for school. All right. And buy assets that are going up. That's not financial advice. It's reality. And you shouldn't even be cheating before all-time high. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I was just doing some analysis last night. I mean, I've got like 1,000 charts saved. You guys know me. I don't even share half of them on here, man. It's just a lot. But I want to talk about where we potentially are in this cycle, right? So anyway, you can kind of ignore some of this stuff, all right? But I want to talk about, what happened. So this bottom chart right here is ETH. So this is ETH down here, and then Bitcoin is up top. I can clean this up just a little bit. Maybe we remove some of these lines just for the time being, make it a little bit easier. But I want to talk about when ETH really starts moving, right? And it's never perfect, right? But there have been days like this day that I have marked out right here in blue, where Bitcoin, you can see here. Let me just remove this. You can see pretty clearly, right? Hang on, let me draw some boxes here. Right here, Bitcoin cheated, okay, and ETH ripped. So when ETH really starts moving and we're sort of early on in a bull market, you can see that there are days like today when Bitcoin nukes and ETH holds well and actually does pretty well. Okay. Here's a prime example, which was early bull market before Bitcoin went on a crazy run. Bitcoin nuked, ETH ripped, right? We're starting to see that rotation, and we've seen it before here as well. So let's look at last cycle. All right, let's look at last cycle. We're going to zoom in a little bit more. So early on in the bull market, we've seen days kind of like today where Bitcoin arguably, kind of cheats, really not great. And ETH actually starts to move up aggressively. So like here was some BS for Bitcoin right here. These were weekly candles, right? But if you go down to the daily, we look at this, you can see that there was some serious dumps right here. I mean, really, really ugly. But then after that, early on in a bull market, you can see that typically when you get days like today, it actually seems like it results in, where am I here? I'm getting lost. All right, here we go. You can actually see that when Bitcoin's kind of being annoying around where we potentially are in this cycle, ETH is actually just starting to move up. And this would align with the ETH BTC pair starting to really cook as well. So I just wanted to put that out there that like we might be this point in the cycle where Bitcoin is just kind of, stalling out, cheating a little bit, and now ETH is starting to cook. So anyways, I mean, I'm just looking at this ETH BTC chart, guys, and I can't find a reason. Hang on. Let's throw on Bitcoin. Let's get rid of the RSIs. Oops, let's get rid of the RSIs. It's just so difficult for me to imagine a scenario where Bitcoin like nukes off the back of an ETH BTC rally, like for a long time. I just like, let's look at some like pivotal moments for the ETH BTC chart, like where we had basically one of these giant engulfing candles. I would say like right here was one, so getting closer to a top, but still not. Let's see, where else would be like a very pivotal moment. I would say maybe like, this goes back very far, right? But huge engulfing candles for ETH BTC. typically these giant engulfing candles for ETH BTC, like we just had, they don't mark the global top. All right. They mark a transition from Bitcoin into risk. All right. They don't mark like the Bitcoin global top, which is why I'm very skeptical of this move. But it's certainly possible also, to be fair, that, I mean, this wasn't really an engulfing candle. It'd be more like this, you know, like this region. It's just, you don't see ETH BTC put in a God candle like this and Bitcoin just go straight down. So we'll see how this resolves. But again, I'm very, very skeptical that this is a Bitcoin top just because of how ETH BTC is looking.
Look at the seasonality of it as well. Go back to that chart real quick. Look at the seasonality. Like, when are all those vertical lines drawn? December, January. We're in January right now. Like,
Yep.
This is not top territory for ETH BTC, obviously, for ETH BTC. But I don't know. I've speculated that we're probably somewhere. Go left a little bit.
Can you guys do the same analogy? Just add more lines. Whenever ETH went for like 3 green weekly candles, so there's going to be
To
lots
the
of
right.
lines.
Yeah, we can mark that out.
3 green weeklies.
Maybe make the line dotted for better visuals.
This one? Oh, you mean
He means
okay,
3
I see.
green weekly. Yeah.
All right, so 3 green weeklies. There's be like one right here. We'll make it dotted.
You can set it at the start of the turnaround, just whenever there were
Go
the
left a little.
flip, right? Yeah, like that.
So kind of right here, this region.
I would even use the first one, right? That's really when there was the engulfing. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then add the BTC at the bottom as you had previously. It was good.
Yeah, we can do that again.
So we really see how BTC reacted.
Yeah.
And then do that each time, like maybe 2018. I see decent rotation. Yeah. Let's just be as objective as possible, right? And then we will apply context to the current one.
Yeah. Okay. So
3, go right. Keep
so
going.
maybe like
Yeah,
right
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but put it at the start of the rotation, not at the end,
beginning
right?
of the candle.
Yeah.
Go
right
there.
here, roughly. Yeah. Somewhere around here.
Uh-huh. And then add those 2. There's 2 more in 2021.
Right here.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's just kind of where I think we might be right now.
Yeah.
And then there is right next to it.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm seeing 2021, one was kind of halfway up the parabola, one was a top. 2019, I think, if COVID didn't happen, that would have been the beginning of the bull market. That Monday, December 19th, or Monday, December 23rd in 2019. December 17 was the top. January 17 was the local low before rip. So, I mean, okay. In, let's see, when were the tops? It was in 17 and 2021. Those are both post-halving years, right? We're in a halving year.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. No top. Up.
I think I have the Bitcoin halvings on here too.
What if
yeah, there we go.
what if
Here,
ETH,
take that.
yeah, what if ETH BTC, guys, I've seen some people compare this cycle to 2016, 2017. What if ETH BTC is sitting at the equivalent of where it was in around the end of 2016? Just a much more elongated version of it. Like if you go to the weekly,
I'm on the weekly or 2 weeks.
Maybe I have an idea too. Maybe we can try Doge
right
BTC.
here,
Maybe Doge BTC has a longer history.
or actually right here.
Like an elongated version of this.
An elongated version of from go back from this bottom, like we just put in that candle right there.
Oh, so we're like right around.
I already massaged it, don't worry.
You're talking like this.
That has us going up vertically after the first half of the year.
I mean, that could be interesting.
This would make a lot of people very happy.
I love all the people that are acting like they actually know how to buy low and sell high, but nobody wanted to buy 25K BTC. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to buy 20K BTC. Nobody wanted to buy 15K BTC.
Nobody wants to buy puppets at 0.02 Bitcoin.
Yeah, nobody wanted to buy puppets below the 50 Bitcoin they're going to get to in the bull run.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't explain it, right? You can't make this stuff up. It's actually hilarious, guys. Look, I bought so much vaporware in the bottom of the market. That vaporware is now worth multi figures in comparison to where I bought it. Like, I don't really want to put everything out there like for you guys to understand, but like I'm probably up almost like 5,000% on my portfolio. Like, it's just stupid on the stuff that I bought as far as NFTs and all the shit that everybody told me was going to zero. When people tell me it's going to zero, I'm like, where do I buy the zero? All right. When people tell me that room fucking stinks, I'm like, all right, where's the door to get into the room? Like, it's not a hard concept, right? When people say there's homeless people in the alleyway selling baseball cards, I'm like, where are the homeless people? Like, you guys got to understand, when there's money to be made, you got to take advantage of it, right? You got to take advantage of it. The stinkiest crap in crypto pumps the hardest. It really does. Like, people just don't understand the concept. There's only people sit there and talk shit about all, like, shit coins and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you have no idea how many figures you can make off of shit coins if you know how to get in and get out. I've gone into honeypots that I knew they were going to try and like shut the contract down in like a couple hours that they're pumped. I just sold before they actually shut the contract down. Like, it's not hard. I mean, okay, I am wrong on saying that. It is hard, right? It is hard because most people think they're going to become millionaires off of one play. No, I get in, and you know what? I'm the first person to tell everybody, hey guys, I sold. And they're like, oh, you and I'm like, yeah, we'll see in a couple weeks. And where are they sitting? Multi-thousand X's down on their bags, trying to reboost their community.
Will, the relationship arc between you and Chimp is just wonderful to see, man. I think you guys are buddies now. It's lovely.
Where's that 15K, unfortunately?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, everything in the space, its use case is absolutely garbage until it pumps. Then it's going to change the world. It's going to change the world, right?
I think Max didn't do this massaging correctly. I'm going to try to help him out real quick. He just went to the bathroom or something, but also I don't want Bitcoin on here. Let's see. Yeah, he needs some help from the master.
Well, look, I get what you're saying, Will, because I'm also Will. But I would definitely say sometimes, somebody's got to tell you, right?
Yeah,
like when your dad tells, his daughter, like, hey, you're not going to the party. Why am I not going to the party? Like, because there's like 50 dudes there and like 3 chicks. You're not going to the party. Like that's just dad being honest with you. And, I'm giving you the reality of why. I could tell you lots of other reasons why, but I already know what's going to go on there. It's 50 dudes and 3 chicks. Not going to happen. So in those scenarios, that I'm that dad. Like, I'm going to tell you, hey, you're not going to the party, or hey, you need to be at this place. It's time for our air and opportunity. And opportunity is abundance right now.
Wait, guys. Are you saying that flippening is real?
Yeah.
I mean, it literally hit the lowest it can hit. It deviated, and arguably, I'd say it's the lowest it's going to hit. ETH BTC, right? ETH BTC.
There she is. Tommy's been doing some massaging as well. I don't know where he has it lined up, but I've got.
It's because you have log on.
Oh, does Max have log on? Come on, Max. Oh, wow. That did screw me up.
Well, I don't see anything. You guys turn your screen off?
Wait, what?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, we're good.
You're good again.
Okay. Tommy, what do you have it going to?
A lot. A lot. I don't know if it's realistic, but Pretty parabolic.
Is it Florida?
I'm more interested in the timing though, honestly, because if you're going to use ETH Bitcoin as a de facto index for alt season, and alts have been popping off in spurts or in pockets for the last few months, right? Like if you've had your pulse on the market, you've done well with like certain altcoins. But I'm talking about like a full blown spring 2021. Everything is just popping off. I'm more interested in the timing around that, and getting positioned for alts like literally before they. I mean, the whole altcoin market cap when we had the bull market that spring. How many multiples did it do in just like 3 or 4 months? Like, I mean, that's when the real like truly life changing gains are made in. That's when the people can make it in one trade. In that period. And I think it's interesting to me that it seems like the next leg up from ETH Bitcoin is going to come probably in Q3 of this year. And maybe even break out of that distribution range, or well, not a distribution range, a reaccumulation range at this point for ETH Bitcoin. And I know that we have a catalyst. I can't remember. Do we have the ETH conference in September? Or do we have it in November? Because it would make sense that we would probably front run that.
ETH Denver?
Foundation dumps when that happens.
Not ETH Denver. There's another thing that they have.
I gotta run, boys. I'll be back in as Janet, but
All right.
What is this
can I grab the chart for like 2 seconds? Just 2 seconds.
Wait.
Somebody asked about something.
We have to address the question.
Go for it, Will.
Is it really a question? Oh, he's already got it.
Apologies.
Let's see it, Will. Let's see it.
He needs to run.
All right, HTF. All right, high time frame, monthly, right here. Gala, easiest play ever. You had a deviation. You recovered the deviation. You might roll back into the range, but it's in an uptrend now, arguably, right? You can't really definitively say that until you reach right above here, or actually not even there. I would actually go further to say till you reach right above here. Once you get back above here, your trend switch has happened. You're back in play, and I think you'll start swinging back this way. Somebody asked about Gala, so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. But until you get back above here, which is where you need to be, you can still reflect and come back down, right? But arguably, I think this is a deviation. You got a vol drop into this whole move, and then you probably sitting on some kind of low end range of the RSI. HTF.
So what is this comment we're seeing here from Trading Equation? All exchanges website are blocked in India. That's why we have heavy sell in the market. Is crypto banned in India or something? I haven't heard anything about that.
They ban it every other week.
It's like a China ban.
It's a China thing. Yeah, it's just you don't even pay attention to it.
Okay.
Do you remember the meme? Tell them that China bans Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We already used that
Every
like
cycle.
but it still works. All right.
Yeah, Jackus, let yeah, man, Chimp Phone, you're a menace in the comments, Chimp. You really are.
Right here's your 30 touch on your RSI, your breakout. Now you're above the 50, arguably, and that's why I think that this thing's gonna keep chatting in that direction.
All right,
again,
so
strength.
Here's what we're gonna do, guys. We got 133 people watching on YouTube. We got 122 likes. We are 28 likes away from Jackus dumping alpha on you guys. Okay, we are getting very, very close. All right. If you have not liked the content yet, please just take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up button for us. Guys, we greatly appreciate the support. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up here on National Jeet Bitcoin Day. Super fun stuff. But guys, please consider liking the stream if you haven't yet. Again, we show up here every single day. We are working hard. The boys even flew into town so we could do our first in-person live stream, or partially in-person. One day, because Bitcoin's going to have an office and we'll have like a studio, you guys are going to look back on this show and be like, wow, that was crazy. This is like a real production now. They're not all just on StreamYard and Zoom. But guys, we need that Jackus alpha, and we're getting so close. I might even make some more accounts just so we can get Jackus up here. But Jackus, what I'd love to do is maybe you could pull your chart up in anticipation of 150 likes, don't give them all the alpha yet. All right. But give them some of the alpha. Entice them to push it across the finish line and get to 150 likes. Jackus, do you have some charts that you would consider to be, some alpha, but not that like that prime rib alpha, not that Wagyu, that A6 Wagyu alpha, but maybe like a nice USDA prime rib.
Give him a skirt steak.
Yeah, skirt steak.
Should I pull out the soybean 1 minute chart then?
Oh, that's punishment. That's too much punishment.
Let me see if there is something, just too much, man. It's too much to take for a single day. So I'm scrolling, guys.
I don't know what this is. I came back. I didn't make this chart. I don't know who did this.
Tucker did
That's
that
too
one.
much propaganda.
I can't acknowledge that. It's too much. It's too much
0.44.
propaganda.
That probably
Yeah.
too much propaganda.
Like how much ETH there is nowadays? It's like 115 million. Do I say it right?
Yeah.
So if we extrapolate the fact with the fact that there is only 21 million BTC, right? So that means
Wait a second. That changes everything.
There's only 21 million.
Oh gosh, Will, turn that on mute. Will, what are you driving, a front end loader right now? Turn yours on mute. All right, here's the deal, guys. Here's what's gonna happen with ETH. Right back down here. Actually, let me hide these drawings. We don't need them right now. Let's get these off the screen. All right, here's what's gonna happen, guys. Potentially, all right, and you have to be okay with it. Right down here, potentially right in here, and what's up, Jackus?
yeah, I was just about to say that like given how much ETH there is and BTC, right, in millions, then I think we shouldn't be going above like if we were to grow to 182, right, 0.182 on ETH BTC pairing, that would be basically 1-to-1 ratio with Bitcoin, if that makes sense.
Say that level again.
Because you're incorporating the supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm incorporating the supply exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is 21 million and obviously it's just an approximate because there is some Bitcoin that's lost forever, right, and so forth, but like given that there is only 21 million BTC and there is about 115 million ETH, so if we extrapolate that, that's approximately 0.18 on the ETH BTC pairing. If that were to happen, that would be like 1-to-1 BTC to ETH. So I think that's like the max upside for ETH BTC in for a long time. But we know that ETH is the ultrasound money.
Yeah, sure,
And
sure. Whatever you say.
And should the supply actually go down in like millions, then that could change slightly, But yeah, so I think like I'm bullish on ETH BTC, but I think the upside is limited in a way.
Look, all I know is it can be whatever it wants to be. It can identify however it wants to identify as long as it's pumping. All right.
As long as
I'm
what?
okay with that. As long as it's pumping.
All right.
That's all that matters.
Hey,
can it
Jack-
identify as a pump?
It can definitely identify as a pump. Where's that Vitalik Buterin photo with him all jacked up on some steroids.
Some people have pronouns he or she. I want to identify as a green dildo.
Oh no.
There you go. That's it. I identify as a whole candle, no wicks. All right, straight up only.
Are you on log?
Yeah.
You live on log.
I love log. Yeah. You in bear markets use linear. In bull markets you have to use log, man. You have to.
Hunter, no, he is valid on that point though, because like a lot of people get lost in the log in bear markets, and they don't actually realize they're at a bottom because they're listening to their favorite influencer who eats Fruit Loops in the morning and watches
Let's
CNN
go.
for their and post it on Twitter what's going to happen next.
Will, I take it you don't eat Fruit Loops?
I do not eat Fruit Loops.
Yeah, man. I just don't. I mean, this doesn't look bad to me. Like this doesn't look bad to me. So this is the total crypto market cap. I mean, yeah, lower time frame. Like you don't love to see this wick, but I mean, this is a weekly right here. Let's see, countdown to bar close. We got 2 days. If you close this here as a green candle, honestly, my opinion is you probably run it back up and fill this wick in. You know, like this basically looks like a range reclaim to me. You know, like this is all sort of deviation. Like I know it's easy to just be like, oh, it's over, we're selling today. But in my opinion, like I wouldn't call this like a deviation, but I would call this like deep value, you know, accumulation.
Max, you can tell who in this market makes money and who sits on Twitter complaining because they want to yell at everybody on Twitter because they're at home and their wife's yelling at them.
Nobody complaining on Twitter is making money.
On Twitter like that,
Complaining
right?
on Twitter is making money.
There's a lot of people on Twitter venting how their wife treats them at home on Twitter, and it's very obvious. All right, it's very obvious.
Who do you follow? Oh my gosh.
The bearish thesis is everywhere, right? Like nobody's like, oh look, ETH's pumping on BTC ETF. We should look to try and make money in this other area. They're like, no, it's over for Bitcoin. That's all they talk about. Like you got to figure out the deviations and be like, all right, ETH up, Bitcoin down, still opportunity. Let me take advantage of opportunity. But they're like, no, it's time to fully exit everybody because Bitcoin's coming down. You got to fully exit now. It's like you don't make money at all, do you? You just literally just sit here on Twitter and every time your wife comes to you and tells you to do the laundry, you come on here and start telling everybody how the market's going to drop.
I love when Will is cooking, man.
What's the percentage gain on that?
I'm just saying this is, in my opinion, if you can ignore the low time frame destruction that's happening, and it may continue for a little bit longer. I truly think that this plays right here. I do. Like I think that this is going to play here. I think a lot of people are prospecting a 10 trillion total crypto market cap on this, this next cycle, whatever that means, however you want to define it. But I think that this 1.618 fib is going to play just like it did here. I mean, a perfect tag marked like the Pico top of last cycle. And I think the same thing's going to happen here, So from right here, total crypto market cap, amongst lower time frame volatility, potentially up 3x, maybe 4x, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Pump it.
Mm-hmm.
So
if we think we get to 7 trillion, let me see this. If
Why
we
not?
think we get to 7 trillion and we think maybe ETH tops out at, call it, 1 trillion, what do we think? Like, how much of that do you think Bitcoin takes up? Like 3? And
Like,
then ETH takes up 1, so 4 trill between ETH.
For the ETH BTC valuation.
Exactly. That's
0.1.
what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
So if Bitcoin goes to 3 trill, that's basically like
I have an answer.
So Bitcoin would be 120, give or take, and then that money would flow out of Bitcoin.
Hey, Jackus has an answer.
BTC at 0.1 valuation.
I don't think they can hear us, Jackus.
what would the
Maybe.
market cap be? Well, the supply changes.
They are
They
brainstorming.
muted
Will.
us. They
They're
muted us.
brainstorming.
No. We can hear you.
Yeah.
We're doing math over here, Will.
we need the mass meme.
Tucker's like he's trying to calculate, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
if my wife came and yelled at me 5 minutes ago, I have at least 25 minutes before I have to actually get up and go do the laundry.
I don't have a wife, Will. I don't have a wife.
So
I know,
far.
but you're trying to figure out your future life.
She'll
That's
tell you.
what it is.
She'll tell you to do a chore or an errand, and you forgot to do it, and then you remember the next time you see it, and you're like, "Oh no!" I gotta do
You
it.
walk by and you remember it, and you're like, "Oh man, I forgot." I do that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I do that a lot.
This is the guys there. Few seconds ago.
Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
Tucker was like, so that's like minus here Bitcoin, there Bitcoin dominance. Oh yeah, got it. No idea.
That's a great image. Oh,
Yeah.
man. And so here's the thing, Jack. It's like, so if Ethereum goes up and Bitcoin goes down, and dominance goes this direction, and dollar goes that direction, and world liquidity is up, which way is the market? Right? This is people overcomplicating the simplest freaking moves.
Now listen, guys. Okay, I will tease you with some alpha with regarding to what was just discussed. I'll just quickly have a look at the like button. What are we at? And if we are actually at, we are at 134 likes. So let's make it just 16 likes away, guys. Right? Just 16 likes away. And I know you guys can do that. Like, you guys can share the stream with your friends. You guys can tease them that a huge alpha is coming now that the time is scary in the market. You can tease them, you can share it with them, and tell them to smash the like button, right? As Max loves to say, smash it. So we can do that. In the meantime, I'll tease you with some alpha. And you guys said, actually, let's get over with here. Guys at the total market cap there, right?
Look at Sosa Fly's comment.
Yeah, I saw it, Will. I saw it.
Yeah.
I hope my fiance is not watching.
Really get Tucker in trouble, man.
Yeah.
She will have to get used to the new reality, it seems. The multi. Some people live in the multiverse, and Tucker is going to be living in the multi-wife universe.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Utah's cool.
Yeah, he's got to play it off for now, at least until Soul gets to 500. Then he doesn't have to play it off anymore.
Then everything changes, Will.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
So, for example, you guys were discussing how much percent, like, what's the, if let's say the total market cap goes to 70, right? What's BTC going to be at the valuation at? And I would say, like, we sometimes see it being, we have seen it, being basically half, right? Actually, let's look at this, right? So the total is 1.65 trillion, and the total too, which is excluding BTC, is 800 billion, which is nearly half, right? And well, guess what? The logical answer, the mass answer, right, to it is the Bitcoin dominance. And where are we at? Well, we are at 51.58%. So that the mass, it fits, right? So when you are asking what is going to be the valuation of BTC when we hit 7 trillion, well, I say let's have a look where Bitcoin dominance is going to be, and I say that we are hitting new lows here, right? And so I think we will be around, let's do 35%. Nice calculation. So let's have a look at the total market cap. Let's say we go, well, why such rookie numbers, guys? I say we go to 10 trillion, right? And
7 trillion, Jackus. We're front running your target. We're going to 7. I'm sorry,
but your size is not size, guys. Just kidding. Okay, so that's basically 3.5 trillion, right? So I think like BTC can go to anything in like 3-4 trillion, in my opinion. That would make sense. Actually,
So Bitcoin's market cap right now is just shy. I think it's what, 900, roughly 900. Well, it's down today, right? So maybe 850, 900 billion. So that would imply Bitcoin at 120 to 150, 120 to 150K for Bitcoin's price.
Yeah, that's basically 300% from the current pricing, so everything fits very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments asked about Caspa. You think we touch on that when you're done?
Dude, you want to
going
know about
up.
Caspa, just go to my personal Twitter, and it's just a Caspa
Yeah.
propaganda feed these days. I'm extremely bullish on Caspa, but I feel like I've talked about it too much, honestly, where I need to give it like 3 days break before more propaganda.
But you guys wait, actually, one sec. You guys wanted some alpha, right? So here is some alpha in the meantime.
Oh man,
Pretty good.
oh man.
Right. So yeah, I do think that BTC, yeah.
Jack, let me ask you a question, if I may.
Go for
You've
it.
talked a lot about Bitcoin dominance, and you've been pretty spot on with us not getting to 60%, and it looks like we're turning around here. Do you think that this Bitcoin dominance turnaround will potentially, basically, it will usher in a new alt season, or it's ushering in potentially like a local sell-off and local top? Because we've seen both.
Yeah, so I think we are sort of like somewhere in here, right? And this is pretty short to like make like I do not think we see this run up and then maybe straight down is a little bit too much for me. I could see like where we sort of now go towards here and make some fuckery, right? But something in this sort of time frame maybe would make sense and price wise. And I would say, actually just psychology wise, I would say, we could be sort of
Shorting that low. Is that why
right here, right? We had that, if we extrapolate the same analogy here, then we've been, we had this this little pump here on the XY, then there was the sell-off, right? The big sell-off, the bottom sort of, rotation. Then you get this sort of weird, like a climb up, right? And people get euphoric. We know how people got euphoric, and the difference here is the time frame. That this took way longer, and the sentiment really changed. This was happening basically on the daily in this, in like 3 months or something. So, but the price climbed all the way above, these highs, just like here. And the sentiment got really created. We heard people once again talk about, new all-time highs for DXY and all that kind of shit. And it did rotate like this. So I'm not sure if like we are straight here rotating. Shit. Jesus, I'm already sharing so much alpha, guys. Whew. But I'm not sure if we are like straight down rotating all the way down there. It would make sense though. Like at some point, right, we are coming to fill this inefficiency. That's a deal. That's a done deal. Maybe it's on this leg, but I still do think that like, like this is what the intuition of market structure tells me, that we will need some more time basically here. But even this, even if we are here, this is your DeFi summer of 2020, right? Basically, so that's what we want, and it's still my,
What's that? Wait, I can't hear Jack.
Yeah, I wasn't talking. No worries.
Oh, that's hilarious. How did you get that to merge with the background like that?
I'm just professional, man.
Remember, you're the chief meme officer now at Because Bitcoin.
Yes, sir. So I have to actually, talk a little bit about this meme, guys, because it actually is so spot on with the ETH BTC chart. So for those of you that are not familiar, right, this is Cristiano Ronaldo, the one of the most famous football players in the entire history of football.
Hey, Jack, it's actually called soccer. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called soccer, not football.
In the Burgerland, yes. So
That's a great reference, Jack.
yeah. So this, as you can see, this happened in the Juventus colors.
Thumbs up over time.
So he went. Like there is a huge history to this meme, and I know that for some people, it may think it's funny, but if you understand the history, it's even more funny, right? This is some alpha, guys. So he was Cristiano Ronaldo. He was playing for Real Madrid in Spain, right? And he was playing against Atletico Madrid very regularly. And the coach of Atletico was Diego Simeone, and they had like a sort of, you could say, personal battle in a way, right? And he kept on just outperforming Atletico, kept scoring goals against them and winning, and they knocked them out of the Champions League, out of the final of the Champions League too many times, like I think like 3 or 4 years in a row. I'm not actually sure right now, but it was something in that kind. And they kept on winning. And then he switched colors after 10 years of being in Real Madrid to Juventus. When they were in Juventus, they were playing in quarterfinal against Atletico Madrid, right? And in the knockout stage, you play 2 games. You play 1 away game and 1 home game. And they went away and they lost 2-0. They lost 2-0 in Spain, when Juventus from Italy was playing in Atletico. They lost 2-0 the away game. And usually the conversion rate of succeeding in the next leg was like, okay, I do not remember exactly, but something like 1 to 5%. Like I do, or maybe even I remember the comments that it never happened in history. And especially against Atletico, which had one of the best defenses in the history. Right? And so what happened is that the coach, Diego Simeone, actually, I might try to look that up, and he made the same celebration when they beat Juventus and Cristiano 2-0 in the first leg. Actually, let me quickly find that one. And yeah, I got it. It has its own like name. This celebration has its own name. I do not remember what it is, but it shows that you have like balls and so forth. So it was like he legit made this celebration in that game against them, right, in the first leg. And then the people were like, give it up, Cristiano, you are, you changed the colors, now you are a loser, and blah blah blah. And they went into the second leg, and he was like, no worries, guys, I will do my best on the pitch. We will just try our best. We need our home supporters to help us do as best as possible. It's not over until it's over, right? He went there in the second leg and scored a hat trick himself. That means 3 goals, and they won 3-0 in that second leg and went over. And when he did, he did this celebration to do a revenge on all those fans mocking him, all the commentators, everyone. Everyone made once again fun of him, and he once again won that personal battle. Not only Juventus won, but he scored a hat trick, right? And he did the revenge celebration against the Diego Simeone, and that's just like absolutely amazing. And what I found interesting is like this just fits to the current ESB history as well, because
Oh man.
because they were legit making fun of us when we were down here and we kept calling for the rotation. And they were like, hey, it's over, the death of Ease BTC, bye bye. Like, Ease has no utility, it's never coming, blah, blah, blah. You heard it. And then, boom, Insta 1 week, in 3 days, just complete reversion. Never in history have we engulfed the past 13 weekly candles, and the week is not over yet. Like we may even flip these, right? Who knows? But just, and it's coming from once again, it's coming from the most oversold area since the very cycle bottom of 2019. Like we have never been this oversold this much. And in hindsight, as we keep on reminding guys, it's always obvious. What we are doing is calling it live. Chart and chart again. Asset, doesn't matter what it is it crypto, is it Bitcoin? And it's like when Bitcoin and Ether is like when Real Madrid and Barcelona are playing against each other. There's the rivalry, right? But I do not care. I'm the observer trying to see the truth. And we kept telling you, uh, that like it has never been this oversold, and I'm simply not going to be fading that. Like this is such a long signal, and we printed we swept here once, we swept another week here, and then we swept another one, and even this. And it was at the time, that people were saying there's the spot Bitcoin ETF, so you are completely fucked. When that happens, when it drops out, is BTC is going, to zero, blah blah blah, and then just this memes is just like
4,000 Bitcoin.
she, right? It's basically
Morning.
that. So
Is this right now?
Yeah, like since the ETF
Oh.
went live.
Yeah, they're unloading.
Grayscale has sold 4,000 Bitcoin to market so far. This is
Yeah.
Barry Shilbert's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it, but he is the worst.
yeah,
The cancer to this industry. Get out. Get out.
get to
Sell
that.
your Bitcoin and get out. Go somewhere else.
What likes are we at, by the way?
Oh man, we gotta be close by now. Let's see, 145. Oh wow, we are close, man.
We are
close.
5
We're running
likes
out of
away.
time. We're running out of time, guys. We're already an hour and a half into the stream. We usually only go about an hour 40.
Haggard's getting hungry.
Hour
too.
45. We got food. We gotta eat, guys. We're calling the stream in 13 minutes from now. We are 5 likes away from the alpha dump from Jackus, but we only have 13 minutes left. It is now or never, guys. It is now or never. If you are enjoying the content if there are 5 of you out there, if you are enjoying the content and you have not liked the stream yet, we have 13 minutes left of the show, and then we have to call it. Like the video, and Jackus is going to dump alpha on you guys. We're now 3 likes away, guys. There are certainly 3 of you out there that have not liked it yet. And you're like, oh, somebody else will like it. It's fine. I don't need to do it. No. This is a group effort. The stream and the likers, the army of likers is only as strong as the weakest link. We need 150 likes for Jackus to drop that alpha, guys. Again, we have 150. There we go. Boom. Done.
Jackus, do your
Boom.
thing.
Go.
Let's
Jackus, you got
go.
12 minutes. You got 12 minutes. Let's go.
all right. Let me first finish up here, guys. So just quickly, when this happens, you do not fade. Okay. We may put something like, and I want to put this side by side because we may actually. I'm just not good at doing 2 things at the same time. Apologies for that, but right. So when we were all the way down here and we were on the first ever weekly bullish divergence in BTC, and people said it's over and 14K, right? This happened. So right now on ETH/BTC, with the same psychology, you are basically in this candle. You are right here, and they will be flooding you. And maybe we get some, maybe like there's like something like, okay, Cristiano, thank you for your time. Maybe like there's something like this, right? That's possible. That's very much possible. And who knows how long it takes, right? Maybe it's like only 2 weeks. Can't really tell right now. But even if it comes, cycle-wise, we are at the same area. Look at the RSI though. Look at the RSI, how it's pumping from the oversold above the 50 level. Look what happened here. legit the same. So they will be flooding your bags. And remember how it was on BTC. They were flooding the bags all the way until we broke out to 35. And then they were waiting for the retest that did not come. So just acknowledge this, respect the pump, respect it, guys. If you were waiting for lower, there are huge chances it's not coming anymore. All right.
And we
We've
also,
also-
now have a weekly order block protecting that candle, Jack, if you look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, I know. That's just
Yeah.
amazing. It's
That's
just
such protection right there. Like, that's concrete. You know?
the protector. Yeah, I'm actually speculating, Max, whether we like what I often sometimes see. So people are waiting for this to happen, right? And then the market makers, and I'm already sharing alpha. I know it's not the BTC alpha. Maybe I'm not getting into it. Well, I will. But when the market makers make this reversion, they often leave two supports, right? The obvious retail supports, and then the retail wants to buy the first one. And what usually happens is that they make it pump, and then they only retest the first and front run the other, or they actually go in and take the take the low, right? After the breakout. So I could see a scenario like if you have been sidelined at max, I would wait for this retest. I wouldn't wait for anything lower. And but there's also good chance that we just keep on running though, because this energy, this coiled up energy, it has been there for too long. So yeah, everyone that was waiting for the ease beta rotation, could see them getting front run a lot. But now, anyways, guys, by the way, I'm very much appreciative of all the freaking likes and support from you. I am loving this, guys. So thank you. And now let's get to it, right? The BTC Alpha you are not going to see out there. So let me actually start with this one. There are some drawings, right? So we did. Actually, I'm gonna hide this one. So we actually have we did go above the March 2022 high, and that has been just a huge psychological level for me. And as I said, and by the way, I was going to share this alpha yesterday already, but we did not get to it. So today, we swept the March 2022 high, and I said that I do think it causes a reaction, and it did. It did cause the strongest reaction since August, since this dump, the scary dump that caught so many by surprise, made them capitulate, wait for lower. So that's definitely very strong reaction. But I'm gonna say this plain and straight. I do not think the top is in just yet, right? Well, at least not for now, that's for sure. But my opinion could change in like long time, but definitely not right now. And we did cause that reaction. There was lots of confluence of that happening, right? So, for example, I want you to guys see that we were sitting on a pretty decent bearish, divergence here on H4. Obviously, it's calculated based on the candle closes, but there's still some. There's still decent one. Sorry, decent small one, and it's also important that we took out all these wicks and that March 2022 high. Now, look at the volume, right? So on H4, we had the highest volume since this breakout, and everything need to be put in context, right? So here this was the breakout volume, and it makes sense that we continue. Here on H4 it's the sweep volume, and I was expecting that this pullback would happen. I wasn't sure Where exactly? So I had my few like base scenarios. I'll get to them, but I was expecting a pullback, right? Right here when we were on the show, right here. And so once again, this is okay. Basically the same H4 volume is on this dump, right? So this was the buy volume. Was the sell volume. This leaves us in this range, and we need to understand that we are sitting on what time frame, guys? On what time frame are we sitting, right? So we are sitting on the H4 time frame. So this volume needs to be taken, and this is what so many people do wrong. They'll look at H4, they will look, oh, look at the volume, H4 volume, blah, blah, blah. We are going straight to zero. No, no, no. You are on H4, and the H4 rejection is playing out. But what's going on the daily, on the weekly, right? And on the daily, we had decent volume, but it's not really like something out of this world volume. It's like decent, but it's alrighty. And now we need to look at the broader picture. And okay, let me actually clean these for a while. And so what I'm seeing happening is basically the same thing. Structure wise, I'm looking at the same thing that was happening in 35 and 36K area. And in this area, we also kept pressuring the highs and highs, and we kept projecting just like here, just like here, just like here. It was the SFP season. With each SFP, the Twitter gurus told you, hey, 30K retest is coming. And I said, no, no, no. You gotta look at the, at the broader context. And what actually happened is that we just shoot up. We shoot up straight to the 44.5K resistance that was announced prior to it. And I do see we are doing the same just on a daily time frame now, right? And if I go in on the daily, so we need to understand the market structure. So first of all, right, let's look at the plain line. That's bullish. There is nothing bearish so far about this move, right? So we are watching the daily closes, and the daily closes is bullish structure intact. Now, now the structure on the daily is this leg, right? This is your leg that you are watching on the daily, and as long as this is holding, anything in this leg is just a bullish retest. So where are we trading now in this daily leg, right? Oh my God, we are at the golden zone, right? Now, I wouldn't obviously, this doesn't mean straight up buy, but it's, just we are creating the context. We are thinking about the market, not just, opening up MACD and just, buy signal buy. No, we are creating the context. So the context is still telling me that we are doing these SFPs after SFPs pressuring the highs. Yes, we had the strong reaction, right? It was also the confluence of the 60, the golden zone of the entire market, right? Look at that beautiful reaction. And I did call this when we were trading down here, that the market should reach it. Now we are getting the reaction, but we have to adjust it to the current market structure. So for example, if we reached it on this leg, then the pullback could came back all the way down here. Now I want to see this, this hold. And as we discussed, at the volume, look at it, guys. This is where lots of volume has been in. This was the panic mode, and the market, I think there is lots of buyers, and this low should be protected. It's the daily structure, it's the volume, it's the sweep of the lows, lots of confluence, right? And this is the sell volume, so possible range in between. Now I do think that looking at the RSI, right? Look at where we are getting, right? So as we discussed, since the H4 pullback, like H4 rejection, sorry.
Hidden
And-
bull div, Jackus.
Yeah, oh yeah. True.
Big time.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. So yes, that's correct. There is a hidden bull diff, right? There's a hidden bull diff in this regard. Although I think we would need to go higher time frame, but still, what's happening here is that if we understand the context, right?
Thank you.
If we understand the context, then we are trading at the golden zone. And now you can add your freaking Elliott waves, if you do this context, and you can go like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leg, and then you will be getting your A, B, C correction, right? So this is like your A. Then I think we're gonna get a bounce here. That's the B, and then maybe we are getting C, something. But I'm not trying to play the precision. All I know is that H4 is getting to oversold levels, and that has been historically just great buy whenever that happened, right? Uh, Especially given the bull market. So those are not to be faded. And given the context we just described, this is the level that we want to be buying in. So golden zone, volume, structure, everything falling here. So as I said, I do expect this, maybe we bounce here, make a new low here. Maybe we come back all the way down and retest the yearly open. And as you guys remember, when we were down here, and I said this should be it, and further upside. Oh, look at that! And I said potentially we are going to be moving up, but multiple times we will probably move around the yearly open. It's possible we go down back to retest the yearly open, but then I think further up is next. And now, okay, before I move to further alpha, right? So look at the H1 RSI here. Okay, and we need to understand the time frames, right? We are not looking at H1 and predicting daily moves. No. So H1 only serves for the bonds. So this is good for the bonds. That's why I think the ABC is happening. But maybe we go to like here, like 44.7, and then there's another sell-off, another scare out, another shakeout. Right? We haven't even touched this low, and that's in my opinion happening. Actually, could be sitting on. Yeah, it's basically sitting on equal lows. So maybe what's going on, especially heading into the weekend, right? It's Friday. So what happens is like this bullshit, most likely. And then there's this, and something like that. Could see that happening. Anyways, looking at H1. Look at those. Whenever we are this low, historically, man, pretty decent buys, right? Obviously, it's H1. Once again, context need to be adjusted, but just trying to give you, the idea. So this matters a lot. And now I'm gonna okay. Another thing I wanted to discuss is the RSI on, and actually, let me do this alpha, right?
There's
So
actually been quite a few areas where the RSI has shown bear diz, and the market has blown right through it. I
Hey,
just want to point.
that's what I'm about
The,
to
the,
discuss.
the final thoughts here. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I can do that.
All right.
Right. So, oh yeah, who could have foreseen, right? But actually, let me be these. So, what I do think is happening here, guys, is that right now we are actually let me use a clean chart here. So what I do think is happening is that BTC has been moving up in this entire leg. And yes, we are sitting on this bearish daily divergence, but I made my my notes regarding that in the past when we were down here already. And look at Sol, and I think Sol is a great example here. So We were going up straight line, and then you've seen these two reaccumulations, right? You've seen the one and then the other. And what I think is happening is that we had the first,
That's really interesting. Yeah.
The soul
and then
run, eh?
So front running. Yeah.
soul front running, exactly, and then you had the second, right?
It
And
is.
then this is where people are getting bearish. They are starting
Didn't it,
to
Tommy? Yeah.
The-
Vertical.
they are starting to pull their they are trying to short this, trying to call the top. And look what happened. We were sitting on a very strong bearish divergence on Sol. And look what's
I
happening
love
here.
this example, Jack, because I love this shit. This is perfect. This is great.
Thank you, Max. And I had to put the whole context together, right? And this is how I work, guys. This is how I work. So the bearish divergence, and I hope the likes are worth it, right? That you had to work for it, but if I promise, I promise. So there were these two accumulations, and we were sitting on the bearish divergence, both here. And then and here, to put even more context, we were sitting on the resistance. This is not the same, but we have swept the March 2022 high, right? So there is a decent like argument for the bearish one. But what market does is it always does that final nail in the coffin. And I need the coffin meme, by the way. But what I think happens is what I just described with this lag, that we get the final fuck you upside to the 60K.
Yeah, the blow off.
The blow off just like on Sol, and it makes the final push in RSI to like these levels, right? And then we will start to distribute on BTC, and this is your bigger, then we make the retest. People will be bullish, it bounces, but then starts doing this, and then you get this, and then you get like this is how it could actually unfold. And what I think in that time could happen, maybe maybe like we get another sell-off. Maybe I think Sol has a strong support here, but maybe it does this and starts to distribute here too. And we know that, and then provides the another higher time frame like higher. And what I think is that Sol has been, this is a good argument, but Sol has been basically front running the entire market on this higher time frame leg, right? And I think there is a good chance for that final. I cannot say that live, but FU upside.
You wanted to say the R word, didn't you? I know you,
Yeah,
Jackus.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
your vocabulary. All
Yeah.
right, this was fantastic. I got to call the stream here. It's getting late. It's time to get on with the day. This was a fantastic place to wrap up. And guys, I'm actually going to start with this because I'm not going to ask you guys to like it because I got to get everybody in here. I'm not going to ask you guys to like it because we already got like 150 plus likes. Let's see what we ended up with. 163. That's incredible.
Wow.
That's a record, guys.
Wow.
But what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you to go to Jackus's Twitter right now. All right. Go to Jackus's personal Twitter. All right. You're going to find a link in Jackus's bio. All right. You're going to want to click on that link. All right. That's going to take you to our website. You're going to want to go there. You're going to want to check out for our premium Discord. All right. You guys know the spiel. You know the shill. You know what we offer, but I'll tell you again. Okay. But I'm going to jump to the end and we're going to go back to the offering. All right. You're going to want to go to Jackus's Twitter. You're going to want to click on his link. And then when you go to checkout, for $50 off of your first month, you're going to want to type in a discount code at checkout. The code is Jackus50. All right. It's just his name, Jackus, and then 50. Very easy to remember. It's also on his Twitter. So go to his bio, click on the link in his bio, go to checkout, and use code Jackus50. Now, again, in our premium offerings, I said I was going to jump around here. We do upwards of 2 hours per day of private voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. We share our active positions and private analysis that we do not cover here on YouTube. So if you really want to take your trading to the next level and see behind the curtain here at BB, how me, Tucker, Tommy, Will, Jackus, Wabi, and the entire team actually trades and places bets in these markets, the Discord will absolutely elevate your trading. So worth trying, especially with Jackus's code. We're only running this special for a little while longer, so get it while you can. All right, this is a very limited time thing that we're doing. So go to Jackus's personal Twitter, click on the link in his bio, and use code at checkout. You got to type this in, Jackus50 for $50 off. This is a very, very rare instance that we are doing this because sometime right before the Bitcoin halving, we are dropping a new product that we've spent a lot of time and money meticulously crafting and curating. It's called the BB Terminal. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but even better, but for crypto guys. You'll actually be able to trade and execute orders through it, and it's got basically every tool that you will need, and it's going to be included within our premium services. So when the BB Terminal comes out, the price of our services is going to go up significantly. So what's going to happen is we're going to drop it. You guys are going to see it all over Market Check and Twitter. You're going to go, damn, it's so expensive. Why didn't I join the BB Discord server for $149.99 per month? And they were running a discount for a limited time with Jackus's coupon code. So I could get in for $100 for my first month to try it out. And I get BB Terminal early, and I'm part of the beta testing crew. And I'm grandfathered in at $150 a month forever as long as I don't cancel. And then some of you guys are going to hit me up and you're going to go, hey, Max, could I try it for like a week for free or a month for free? Or maybe you could run a special soon. And I'm going to go, guys, I gave you so much time. I badgered you to sign up and lock yourself in before the price jumps. And I even gave you Jackus's special discount code, which is a very limited time offer. So here we are, guys. Here we are. And then I'm going to say, who could have foreseen that you wanted to try our services out? Who could have foreseen? We could have foreseen. It's definitely worth trying, and consider just trying this month, right? You get in for basically, $50 off your first month. If you don't like it, you burn $100. But our Discord's growing like crazy, and retention is incredible because you see the level of commitment and you see the alpha, and it's dramatically improving people's lives and helping them become better traders. So again, go to Jackus's Twitter, click on the link in his bio, go to checkout, and type in code Jackus50. Okay, this is as good of a deal as you're probably going to get. I mean, really, if you knew what the BB Terminal was and you understood the price jump, and you'll understand why we're going to jump the price up when you see the BB Terminal, definitely consider checking out now with code Jackus50 using his link in his bio. You will not regret it. Definitely give it a try. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. We're going to call it here. We got some egg sandwiches that we need to delete because we're getting hungry. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. I'm just going to wrap us up here. Tommy, goodbye. Love you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.